a beautiful bhajan given to us by a wonderful Acharya, Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare Dhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivare. Jaya Radha Madhava कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी. गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीरावन चारी. यमुना तीरावन चारी. जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी. माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवर धारी. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यशोदानंदन व्रज जन रंजन. यमुना तीरावन चारी. तीरावन चारी. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे. हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे. Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Sharad Bihari Radha Sharad Bihari Radhe. Radha Sharad Bihari Radha Sharad Bihari Radhe. जया जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी. 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 निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल. निताय गौरा हरि बोल. निताय गौरा हरि बोल. हरि बोल निताय गौरा. जय जय प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद प्रभुपाद. जय जय प्रभुपाद. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्री श्रीमद His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Shila Prabhupada ki jai. नामाचार्य श्रीला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन धाम की जय। गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, भक्तिमती तुलसी महारानी की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
Hare Hare Bol.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayan Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiriye Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtaki. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So, today we are reading from Canto 3rd, chapter 16, and we are on verse 26. This chapter is entitled Jai and Vijay, cursed by the sages. We are on text 26. Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Sri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Eto suratera gatim. Chintamani. Eto suratera gatim pratipade sadhya. Eto suratera gatim pratipade sadhya. Sambrama sambrata samadhi anubadha yogo. Sambrama sambrata samadhi anubadha yogo. Bhuye sakshat upayasyata asuyo va.
Sakasham upasayat
Asuyo va. Shapo mayev nimitsat davet vipraha. Shapo mayev.
tastat vita vipraha.
Sri Bhagavanu vacha. Etau suratera gatim pratipade satya. Eto suratera gatim pratipade satya. Sambrama sambrata samadhi anubadha yogo.
Sambrambha sambrita samyadi anubadha yogo.
Bhuya sakashmu pa yasyat ashu yovaha. Sakash Shapo Maev Nimit Satyet Vipraha.
Shapo Maeva Nimatastat Vitra Vipraha.
Shri Bhagavanu Vacha.
Bhagavanu Vacha.
Eto Suratara Gatim Pratipatya Satyaha.
Eto Suritara Gatim Pratihadya Satya.
Sambrama Sambrata Sambadi Anubadha Yogo.
Sambrambha Sambrita Samyadi Anubadha Yogo.
Bhuya Sakashi Upayasyata Aschu Yovaha.
Sakasham Upayashyatya Asudyoga.
Shapo Mayeva Nimitas Aveta Vipraha.
Nimitasta Veta Vipra.
Difficult one. What? Anyone wants to decide? Yes. श्रीभगवानुवाच एतौ सुरतरा गतिं प्रतिपाद्य सात्य संभ्रमा संभ्रता समाधि अनुबद्ध योगौ भूय सकाशाम् उपायस्य अशूयो वा शापो मयेव निमित्तस्तद् अवेत विप्रः श्रीभगवानुवाच
सुरतार्गतिं प्रतिपाद्य सद्या
एतो सुरतरगतिं प्रतिपाद्य साद्य
संरम्भ संवृत समाद्य अनुपाद योगो
संभ्रमा संभ्रता समाधि अनुबाद्य योगौ
या सकशम् उपयशन् यत्या असूयो वा
भूय साक्षात् उपायस्यत अशूयो वः
सपो मयेव निमित्तस्ताद् अवेत विप्रः
शापो मयेव निमित्तस्तद् अवेत विप्रः लेडीज श्रीभगवानुवाच एतौ सुरतरगतिं प्रतिपाद्य सात्य संभ्रमा संभ्रता समाधि अनुबद्ध योगो भूय सकशाद उपयस्यत अशूयो वा शापो मयेव निमित्तः सतदेव विप्रा श्रीभगवानुवाच एतो सुरतरगतिं प्रतिपाद्य साद्य संभ्रमा संभ्रता समाधि अनुबद्ध योगौ भूय सकशाद उपास्यत्य आशुयो वः शापो मयेव निमित्तः सतद्वेत विप्रः Synonyms. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, replied, Etau, these two doorkeepers, Sura Itara, demonic, Gatim, the womb, Pratipadya, obtaining, Satya, quickly, Sambrama, by anger, Sambrata, intensified, Samadhi, concentration of mind, Anubadha, firmly, Yoga, united with me, Bhuya, again, Saksham, to my presence, Up Yas Yataha, shall return, Ashu, shortly, Yaha, which, Vah, of you, Shapaha, curse, Maya, by me, ever, alone, Nimittaha, ordained, Tat, that, Aveta, no, Vipraha, O Brahmanas. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The Lord replied, O Brahmanas, know that the punishment you inflicted on them was originally ordained by me, and therefore they will fall to a birth in a demonic family. But they will be firmly united with me in thought through mental concentration, intensified by anger, and they will return to my presence shortly. Purport. The Lord stated that the punishment inflicted by the sages upon the doorkeepers Jai and Vijay was conceived by the Lord himself. Without the Lord's sanction, nothing can happen. It is to be understood that there was a plan in the cursing of the Lord's devotees in Vaikuntha, and this plan is explained by many stalwart authorities. The Lord sometimes desires to fight. The fighting spirit also exists in the Supreme Lord. Otherwise, how could fighting be manifested at all? Because the Lord is the source of everything, anger and fighting are also inherent in his personality. When he desires to fight with someone, he has to find an enemy. But in the Vaikuntha world, there is no enemy because everyone is engaged fully in his service. Therefore, he sometimes comes to the material world as an incarnation in order to manifest his fighting spirit. In Bhagavad Gita 4.8, also it is said that the Lord appears just to give protection to the devotees and to annihilate the non devotees. The non devotees are found in the material world, not in the spiritual world. Therefore, when the Lord wants to fight, he has to come to this world. But who will fight with the Supreme Lord? No one is able to fight with him. Therefore, because the Lord's pastimes in the material world are always performed with his associates, not with others, he has to find some devotee who will play the part of an enemy. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says to Arjuna, "My dear Arjuna, both you and I have appeared many, many times in this material world, but you have forgotten, whereas I remember." Thus, Jaya and Vijay were selected by the Lord to fight with him in the material world, and that was the reason the sages came to see him, and accidentally the doorkeepers were cursed. It was the Lord's desire to send them to the material world, not perpetually, but for some time. Therefore, just on as on a theoretical stage, someone take the part of enemy to the proprietor of the stage, although the play is for short time and there is no permanent enmity between the servant and the proprietor, so the Surajanas, devotees, were cursed by the sages to go to the Asurjana or atheistic families. Thus, that a devotee should come into an atheistic family is surprising, but it is simply a show. After finishing their mock fighting, both the devotees and the Lord are again associated in the spiritual world, planets. That is very explicitly explained here. The conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world. I repeat, the conclusion is that no one falls from the spiritual world or Vaikuntha planet, for it is the eternal abode. These are the words of Srila Prabhupada. But sometimes, as the Lord desires, devotees come into this material world as preachers or as an atheist. In each case, we must understand that there is a plan of the Lord. Lord Buddha, for example, was an incarnation, yet he preached atheism. There is no God, but actually there was a plan behind this, as explained in the Bhagavatam. So let's just pray our obeisances to all those acharyas who have given us this wonderful treasure of knowledge by chanting these Mangalacharan prayers. So I'm sure all of you must have known about this Mangalacharan prayers. So chant along with me. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakhaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadhamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaiva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So thank you so much for giving this wonderful opportunity to me to speak on the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam this morning. We are reading from Canto 3rd, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is the conclusion of all the Vedic scriptures. Vedavyas Muni, when he is himself in this specific kalpa, kalpa is the day of Brahmaji. So in this specific kalpa, when Sri Vyasadeva is writing Sri Mahabharata, he himself is the incarnation of Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other incarnations, Vedavyas Muni is also a Jiva Tattva. That means he is a living entity empowered by the Supreme Lord. But in this particular kalpa, he is the incarnation of Bhagavan. And this particular incarnation of Bhagavan Shri Krishna, Vedavyas Muni, he was not satisfied by dividing the Vedas and providing the statements in Vedas, in Upanishads, in Puranas, and 18 other branches of knowledge. And that's why he was not very satisfied. So Narad Muni, his own spiritual master, came and kind of chastised him that you did not compile a scripture which describes exclusively the pastimes of Bhagavan Shri Krishna and his devotees. So that's why Vedavyas Muni, at the end of all the giving all the Vedas, Upanishads and Puranas, he wrote Vedanta Sutra. This Vedanta Sutra is what? The conclusion of all the Vedas. How many Vedas are there? 4. Okay. And Upanishads, 108. And then Puranas, 18. Yes. So the conclusion, all the purports as conclusion from all the 4 Vedas, he write in the Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta. That means end of all the Vedas he wrote there. And then in order to make it more precise, he just jot down all the conclusions from those purports and he formed Srimad Bhagavatam in his deep meditation, where he was actually understanding and he was realizing the pastimes of Supreme Bhagavan Shri Krishna. So that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam is celebrated as the essence of all the Vedic literature. And this Srimad Bhagavatam is giving all of us the highest fruit from the tallest tree. What is the highest fruit from the tallest tree? Krishna Prema. Because of that, only that's Krishna Prema. If anyone, any living entity can attain this Krishna Prema or love of Godhead, he is able to permanently stop the miseries of these material world and can go back or can go to the spiritual world for the perpetual or for eternal living with Bhagavan. So that's why the Srimad Bhagavatam is very, very important. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, almost everything has been described. But in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it has been said that all the other Purusharthas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, all these have been rejected. But only one highest truth this Srimad Bhagavatam is propagating, and that highest truth is love of Godhead. So whenever we read the pastimes of Bhagavan, in any incarnation or in any canto, each and every pastime is there to give us a lesson, which we can very well implement in our own lives as devotees, as practitioners. So that's why this Srimad Bhagavatam not coming. That's why this Srimad Bhagavatam, so that's why this Srimad Bhagavatam is one of the important limbs which has been counted by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the progress in spiritual life. Bhagavata Shravan is very important, very, very important. So I was meditating on this story, so I thought, let me just put my story or the story in visual form. So I just made a very little presentation. I'm sorry, I will not be able to show this presentation to the people online, but yeah, maybe next time. Okay, so the story is going on, and Maitreya Muni is talking with Vidura in this third canto. And Vidura asked questions, and in the reply to those questions, the appearance of Lord Varahadev have been explained. And then Vidura asked about the flashback story, why there was appearance of Lord Varahadev and who are Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And then the story in the background is being described by Brahmaji to the Devatas. Now these Devatas, they are very worried because in the womb of Mother Diti, by the semen of Kashyapa, there were 2 seeds. And because of the presence of 2 seeds, everything went dark. Everything. There was such a scary atmosphere. You know, we are in winter season here in Philadelphia. At 4 o'clock, it's all dark. And you know, there is like some kind of fear, especially I can tell in my kids, they are always, Mummy, it's so dark at night time. It's already night time. So the darkness is equivalent to fearfulness. So they were so feared about the whole situation. And they ran towards Brahmaji, as always. And then Brahmaji started narrating this wonderful story of how the doorkeepers, who are eternal servants of the Supreme Lord, they came into this material world as the first birth. They took 3 births. Their first birth were Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So Brahmaji said that my 4 Kumaras, my sons, my 4 Sanat Sanan, then Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, they went to Vaikuntha planets. And there they crossed all the 6 gates. At the 7th gate, they met with Jaya and Vijay. And this Jaya and Vijay, they tried to stop these 4 Kumaras. Now these 4 Kumaras are Gyanis. They are Gyanis, or the people who are following or who are following the path of knowledge. So these are Atmaramas. So Atmaramas are those people who realize their own soul and find eternal bliss in their own soul. In Sri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, this whole about these 4 Sanat, Sanandan, Sanat Kumaras, who are always 5 years of old age, have been described by Srila Rupa Goswami. He is explaining that they are Gyani Bhaktas. And specifically those Gyani Bhaktas which Krishna is describing in chapter 7th. That this particular kind of Gyanis, they come to surrender unto me. So they are very, very important Bhaktas, or, you know, important people for Krishna, Bhagavan. So they were trying to enter the 7th gate and they were being stopped by Jai and Vijay. These Jai and Vijay, now these sages cursed Jai and Vijay. And Jai and Vijay started lamenting. So the whole scene was happening, and the Supreme Lord, Supreme Bhagavan, who was sitting inside, you know, his abode, he just started running. He started running on the place where on the gate number 7, to give darshan to both the Kumaras as well as to his associates, his servants, Jai and Vijay. And as soon as Bhagavan came, So the Kumaras, they had darshan of Bhagavan and their heart just changed. And they started praising words, wonderful. They started praising Bhagavan with such nice prayers. And in the starting, with the start of this chapter 16, Bhagavan started pacifying these Kumaras by saying that definitely my associates, they have committed mistake. They offended all of you, all the 4 Brahmanas. And Bhagwan started glorifying the position of Brahmanas. Bhagwan started saying, especially from the verses number 6 to 11, Bhagwan started saying that because I am the devotee of Brahmanas, that's why the dust of my lotus feet becomes so glorious that it can overcome the sin of anybody in this material world. And also, Lakshmi ji is with me because of the blessings which has been given to me by all of you, by the Brahmanas. And Bhagavan also said that, because of the presence of Brahmanas, the water which is coming from my feet as Ganges is being carried on the head by Lord Shiva. So that's the position of Brahmanas for me. And those who offend Brahmanas, they disrespect me. Why? Because I eat through the mouth of Brahmanas. And those who respect Brahmanas, they actually please me. So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary, he says that actually Bhagwan's words of glorification for the Brahmanas were tinged with the feeling of sarcasm. And Bhagavan was actually glorifying his own devotees, Jai and Vijay. Because Bhagavan also said that I can even cut my limb if anyone can disrespect Brahmanas. So by limb, so that means Bhagavan is saying that my devotees are my limb. They are the part of my body. And when Brahmanas heard this, because they are Jnani Bhaktas, they know the philosophy. They are not people like, me. If I go and Bhagavan says, and I think, oh, wow, Bhagavan, such nice words of glorification for me, for being a Brahmana. So what is a Brahmana? He comes into a Varnashram system. But Vaishnavas are even superior than Brahmanas. We all know this is the position of Vaishnavas. They are even above that Brahmanas. So these Brahmanas, they got confused of these words from Bhagavan. And they were contemplating, is Bhagavan glorifying us or chastising us? What he is doing by extraordinarily, giving us such sweet words. If we know, if in 10th canto, so Bhagavan used his words of sarcasm so many times. In Sri Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, in Southern Division, there are 64 qualities of Krishna has been mentioned. And one of the qualities is that Krishna is Priyamvada. What is Priyamvada? That he knows how to convince. He knows how to convince with his soft-spoken language, with his soft-spoken words. He knows. He is Priyamvada. And also in Canto 1, chapter number 16, verses 26 to 30th, Bhumi Devi is talking with Dharma, cow and bull. Discussion is happening. And there also, Bhumi Devi mentioned 40 qualities of Bhagavan Shri Krishna. And he mentioned about Jnanam, one of the qualities. And Jnanam has been described by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and our Srila Prabhupada in the purport. There are 5 parts. And one of the parts is that Bhagavan knows how to convince anybody at any point of time and how to behave where, in what circumstances, according to the timely manner. So that's one of the quality of Bhagavan, which Bhagavan is using here. So in many pastimes of Krishna, we can see Even in 10th canto, chapter 60, when there is a discussion between Rukmani and Krishna. Rukmani Devi is fanning Krishna, you know, as a loving wife very nicely. And at this time, Rukmani Devi has grown-up kids. And then Krishna, just to agitate the mind of Rukmani Devi, started speaking words touched with sarcasm. That, you know, you are such a beautiful princess. I don't know what you saw in me that you wanted to marry me. Why? I am just a cowherd boy hidden in this ocean. So this is even this, you have still a chance. You can go and marry, you know, Shishupal. I'm sure. Shri Radha Sharad Bihari Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani. So I'm really sure that's what's going to happen. Shishupal is going to accept you. And then Rukmani Devi actually fainted by hearing the words of sarcasm by Krishna. So anyway, so Krishna has this, Bhagwan has this quality of speaking those words. And these Sanat Kumaras, they know about it. That Bhagwan is actually speaking something and the meaning is something. So many times when we read Shastra or Srimad Bhagavatam and the words of Bhagwan, so many times we are stuck with Shabdarth. What is Shabdarth? The meaning of the words. But actually, when Bhagwan speaks, we have to take the Bhavarth. That means what is the context and what is the meaning, with what emotion Bhagwan is speaking. Therefore, Sridhar Swami's commentary on Bhagavatam is called what? Bhavartha Deepika. Bhavarth means the meaning of the essence, you know, what the other speaker is talking. So that's why when we read the commentaries, we get to know what is the bhava or the emotion of Bhagwan when he's talking. So these Sanat Kumaras, they realize that Bhagwan is over talking about, or Bhagwan is talking with so much nice words with them, definitely it's a tinge of sarcasm. And that's why these Brahmanas, they reply to the Supreme Lord, refuting all the arguments which he gave. And they said that Bhagwan Lakshmi Ji is with you because she is your devotee. And we are Brahmanas because of you, Bhagwan. And your act of glorifying us is not that you are, you know, it's also your transcendental pastime, Bhagwan. And by accepting this humility onto the Brahmanas, your position by no way is getting reduced. Although by following, you know, dharma, even in your speech, by glorifying the Brahmanas, you are setting an example. And then in the verse previous to this, Brahmanas, these four Kumaras said, Bhagavan, please, this was our mistake to curse your eternal associates, your devotees. Now it's up to you what you want to do with them. It's completely up to you. You can do anything with them. You want, you can. And then after saying this, these Brahmanas, they left the place. No, sorry, they did not left the place. They are still there. So now starting this verse number 26, which is the verse for today. Bhagwan, because Sanat Kumaras, they were actually lamenting that they cursed the devotees of Bhagwan. And they were very fearful now what's going to happen with them. So Bhagwan started pacifying these Kumaras. And Bhagwan said, do not worry. Do not worry, you four Kumaras. This curse was ordained by me. This curse was ordered by me, sanctioned by me. It's not your fault. My eternal associates, whose bodies are of pure sattva, that means whose bodies are of above the three modes of material nature, transcendental, vishuddha sattva. In their bodies, they get this mentality to offend you. And you Atma Ramas, who are satisfied in their own soul, with the presence of the bliss in your own soul, you got angry. And not only you got angry, you cursed them. You curse them. You think this anything in this situation is normal? No. The reason is that there is no tinge of Maya or material modes of nature in Vaikuntha planets. There is all auspiciousness, there is no enviousness, nothing. So, how come these devotees of the Lord, they thought that, okay, these are, we have to stop them. And on the other hand, these Kumaras, who are above of all these things, they got angry. And not only they got angry, they cursed Kumaras. For this, they cursed Jay and Vijay. So Bhagavan said, how this happened? Only because this is my sanction. So a wonderful lesson Bhagavan is giving. I'm going to reason behind, with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is giving the explanation, the reason why this happened. But here, Bhagavan is giving a very important lesson, that anything happening in this world, with me, with you, anything, any of the karma which I am doing, any of the inclination I have, is only because of the sanction of Bhagavan. In 1814, Bhagavad Gita, what Bhagavan says? Bhagavan says, Adhishtanam tatha karta, karanam cha prathak vidham, vividhascha prathak cheshta, daivim chevetra panchamam. Translation: the place of action, body, performer, the various senses, the many different kinds of endeavor, and ultimately the super soul. Ultimately, the super soul. These are the 5 factors of action. So the Bhagavan is the ultimate authority, permitter of anything happening in this world. Anything which is happening in this world. So my karmas, what karmas I am doing, what activities, what actions I am doing, the approval of doing it, acting on it, is coming from whom? From Bhagavan. And we always say, right, because of my own karmas, I am in this, I'm just suffering because of my own karmas. It's a good thing to say. So if Bhagavan is sanctioning, then how come it's because of my own karmas? That means Bhagavan is the one who is partial, who is making me do good karmas and making you do bad karmas. What is this? And not even that, I say, okay, this living entity, this living entity is in avidya. Avidya means ignorance. And because of the presence of ignorance, this living entity forgets itself as soul and start connecting itself with the material body. And because of that connection, connection, dosha arise. Dosh means fault. What is the fault? That because I think I am Madhavi Gaurangi, so the things related to me is connected with me. So that gives the rise to raga. What is raga? Attachment. And something which does not belong to me, that gives dvesha, because it belongs to you. Raga, dvesha, and then other fear. And not only that, I am doing activities, janma after janma, birth and after birth and birth. And I think that I am performing this karma, okay, I'm in such a miserable situation in my life. And because I am in miserable situation in my life, I am going to take help of external things, so many other things. So there is a very nice shloka in Subhashita Ratna Bhandara that says, whenever and wherever a particular person has to experience some happiness or distress, he or she is forcibly bound as if by rope and brought into that situation by providence. You know, in Mahabharata, Duryodhana, once he said to Krishna that, I know what is right, I know what is religion, but I am inclined to act in this way which is irreligious. I don't know why. Because of the providence. And what is this providence? Sanction of Bhagavan. So what do we understand by this? Sanction of Bhagavan. So let's try to understand. So we have karma ashraya, or we have karma, or our activities or action, which is there from Anadi Kala. What is Anadi Kala? Beginningless. And when our acharyas are putting this word Anadi, that means beginningless. That means there was never a time, or there was no count of the time when this karma has started. So we are being inflicted by this karma, Anadi karma, from time immemorial. This living entity is inflicted with this karma. And there was never a creation at particular point of time, because creation is also Anadi. Creation is also beginningless. It has been there since time immemorial. And that's why this particular kind of living entity who is away from the Supreme Lord is there and is carrying the karma, Anadi karma. And in every act, in every life, or in every particular lifetime we get, we create more karmas. We create more activities, more actions. And inclination to do or inclination to act on that karma is given to us by the super soul who is sitting inside. And also he gives us the facilities to perform that karma. Dushashan, he tried to strip naked Draupadi. The super soul inside him gave him the inclination, do this. Then where is my free will acting? When I'm getting that inclination, do this. A smoker who is trying to quit smoking, when he goes around a smoking shop or the cigarette shop, he gets that inclination inside, from inside. Go smoke, because of the presence of that particular experience. Bhagavan is sanctioning, go smoke. Free will comes into picture. I am not doing it. This doing it or not doing it, by saying I'm not doing it, I am cutting the samskara of that particular karma. So here comes the free will which Bhagavan has given to all of us. But Bhagavan is the one who is giving all the fruits to this Jivatma, this living entity, Janm after Janm, birth after birth. He is no partial, he is doing no partiality towards anybody. This is a verse in Vedanta Sutra 2.134. What this verse says, there exists no partiality as well as cruelty in Bhagavan, because be the pleasure and pain experienced has regard by the previous karmas. And so also the, I'm sorry, the spelling, I did not check this. And that's what all the scriptures declared. Vedanta Sutra 2.134. Bhagavan is no partial. According to our own samskaras, we are getting the inclination, the sanction from the Supreme Bhagavan Krishna. And we are acting upon it. And our free will is there to decide if I want to go through with karma or if I want to cut this karma. But ultimately, who is the permitter? Who is the permitter? Bhagavan is the permitter. So, basically it's like that, a fox who get just, she just got hurt by an arrow. So this fox, she start to bite on the arrow, thinking that this arrow is the cause for her misery. But the lion, what this lion does, when the arrow hits the lion, this lion sees the person who is hitting the arrow. So we have to see beyond our cause of, what is our cause of misery. These are acting on our own free will, which Bhagwan is sanctioning everything. So Bhagwan, in this particular story, Bhagwan said to Kumaras, don't worry, this is sanctioned by me. Now the question is, why Bhagwan, you are sanctioning something? Okay, in our case, Bhagwan is sanctioning because we have karma, anadi karma. We have karma from beginningless. And in our case, Bhagwan is sanctioning, okay, understood. But Bhagwan, why you are sanctioning to your eternal Lord, eternal associate Jai and Vijay? Who are your Nitya Siddha Parshada, who are eternally associate with you? So the reason has been given by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his commentary to this sloka. He is saying the reason is because of love for Krishna, or because of love for Bhagwan, due to prema, Jai and Vijay had this desire. What desire they had? So in Vaikuntha Loka, any desire, when the devotees have any desire, they desire only for Krishna. So they had desire in their heart. They had desire that Lord's fighting spirit is not being satisfied. This instinct of fighting in Lord is not being satisfied. So out of their prema, this desire arose in their heart. And they thought, Jai and Vijay, that's what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing. They thought that, hey Bhagwan, because this is Vaikuntha planet and there is no enemy. And also because we are your devotees, we are also not your enemy. And that's why there is no reason to fight with us. So, hey Bhagwan, please make both the gods make unfriendly towards you and forget your quality of being affectionate towards us. And because we cannot fight in Vaikuntha, so send us to the material world so that you can satisfy your desire of fighting. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it has been said that Bhagwan is Raso Vai Sa. Srila Rupa Goswami is starting his book, Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, by this. Bhagwan is Raso Vai Sa. That means Bhagwan is the reservoir of all the rasas. Bhagwan is the reservoir of all the rasas. And what is the meaning of rasa? What is rasa? Taste, juice. When we talk about rasa, taste or juice, it's a very surface level understanding. Srila Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu is giving such a wonderful definition of rasa. What he is saying, what is rati? Rati is a sthai bhav. What is sthai bhav? Foundational relationship with the Supreme Lord. Then, and for example, relationship as a servant and master, relationship as a mother or parent and child, relationship as friends, relationship as husband and wife or lovers, beloveds. When these are the four, we have five, Shantaras is also there, but we take four. So 4 sthai bhavas, that means foundational relationship. And when this foundational relationship get the ingredients of certain other emotions, and these emotions are not very permanent. But these emotions are there just to increase, the foundational emotion. That is called rasa. It is just like when we have a plain glass of water and I add honey, salt, pepper, lemon, and when I just drink it, that's the juice I am drinking. What are the ingredients I added? Honey, salt, pepper, and lemon. So and the plain water, I'm adding all these and drinking, I am getting some taste. That's called rasa, juice, from the fruit of sthai bhava, the permanent relationship or permanent emotion with the Lord. For example, let's just take with my son, I am his mother. That's the foundational relationship, right? It's not going to change that I am his mother and he's my son. But whenever, I get angry or I get so happy or some other emotions, then I'm getting that taste from my relationship and he's also getting some taste from that relationship. So that's called rasa. That's called rasa. So this rati or sthai bhava, we have 5 kinds of sthai bhava: shanta, dasya, sakhya, vatsalya, and madhurya. And on top of these emotions, when other emotions get added, then that's called secondary rasa. So rati is different, rasa is different, Okay, what is rati? You can cheat from the thing. What is rati? Thai bhava, the foundational. Yeah. And what are the ingredients? Other kinds of emotions, which are termed as vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, bhavichari bhava. I mean, they have their own definitions, but here, just to make it more clear. One more example, just like pizza, we all like pizza. At least I like pizza. Who? You like pizza, Prabhu? Okay. So what is there in pizza? There is a base, and there is tomato sauce. There is tomato sauce, cheese, vegetables, and then when we bake it and eat it, then it's so tasteful. That's rasa. So sthai bhav is base, sauce, cheese, toppings, vibhava, anubhava, sattvic bhava, and vibhichari bhava. All these other emotions which come, and then we bake it, means, combination, then we eat it. Why I'm bringing this here? Because these devotees of the Lord, Jai and Vijay, they are in a sthai bhava or a foundational relationship with the Lord. And what is that foundational relationship? Servant. Yes, dasya. They are into that servitorship. They are in the servitorship. Now, when this servitorship is get infused with what? With bhayankar ras, horror, rodra, anger, and vira, chivalry. These rasas are there in the relationship. Then these became Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu. And 3:16:29, the verse, 2 verses, 3 verses after this verse, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing that these Jai and Vijay, they remained in the Vaikuntha in their own swarupa, in their identity. But in one amsha, in one of the expansions, they went inside the womb of Mother Diti. Now, when Rupa Goswami is giving example of Veeraras, chivalry, so he is giving the example of Sri Dama and Krishna fighting on the bank of Yamuna, and Sri Dama is trying to win Krishna. Sri Dama is trying to defeat Krishna. And he has that anger, that emotion of anger. But Sri Dama is Krishna's friend. And they fought And then Krishna just left from there, and they were all happy and then became again friends. But why in the case of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, Krishna, Varadev and Nrsimhadev actually killed Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu? Why not just a mock fight and just, he went back and Hiranyaksha went back? Why? What's the reason? If this is the reason, Mataji, you are explaining that this is just the rasa, mock fighting, and Krishna is the subject of all the rasas. He is the Vishya, and the devotees are the Ashraya, or the experiencers of this rasa. Then why not? Why Krishna killed Hiranyaksha and, Varadev and Nrsimhadev killed Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu? Why not like Sri Dama just mock fight on the bank of Yamuna and then just left? What's the reason? Krishna don't want Sri Dama with him. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur said they were in their Swarupa in the Vaikuntha Loka in 3:16:29. Clearly he's writing. In one amsha, they went into the Mrityu Loka or material. The reason is because they both attained the bodies and the nature of demons. They just expanded themselves as seeds and then got the bodies of demons, nature of demon. Although they were fighting with the Supreme Lord, they were fighting with the Supreme Lord because they attained the nature of demons. That's why in order to extinguish their bodies of demons, Krishna fought with them and, killed them. But on the other hand, Sri Dama, when he's fighting with Sri Dama is who? His friend, right? And he is in the body of his friend, and he has the Anukula Bhava. That means he has a favorable attitude towards the Supreme Lord. But in this case, when they attain the body of Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu, although their identity were never get influenced because their real Swarupa is of Vishuddha Sattva, above the modes of material nature, and never get tinged by any of the material modes of passion, ignorance, anger, or all these things. But as their bodies of demon, they had all these rasas. And that's why Bhagavan fought and annihilated their demonic bodies, Varadev and Hiranyakashipu. And that's what Bhagavan is saying in this verse, that they are going to attain the nature of demons, although their bodies is of pure sattva, and they can never fall down. Srila Prabhupada in the purport is mentioning very clearly, no one falls down from the spiritual planet Vaikuntha. Only by the sanction of Bhagavan, the devotees expand themselves. So this is the reason which Bhagavan is giving to Kumaras, that don't worry, this is my order, my sanction. I am the one who sanctioned this punishment. And why Bhagavan sanctioned this punishment? Because these Jay and Vijay, out of their own prema towards Bhagavan, had the desire to satisfy the fighting spirit of Bhagavan. And that's why they thought to themselves, oh Bhagavan, please make us unfavorable towards you and forget your quality of being affectionate towards your devotees. And with this entire episode, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is writing, Bhagavan has also showed one more thing to the sadhakas, to those devotees who are practicing in this material world. And that lesson is that even by any offense, by any of the offense, by the Brahmanas to my Vaishnavas, Brahmanas can fall down, Vaishnavas can fall down. So Vaishnavas, sadhakas have to be very, very careful to commit any kind of offense in this, if we want to progress in our spiritual life. We have to guard ourselves from the offenses which we just read in the morning. The 10 offenses are very important for each and every Vaishnava to guard. With this, thank you so much for giving your rapt attention. And anything you like from today's presentation is because of my Gurujanas, Shravan Guru, my Shiksha Guru, my Diksha Guru, Srila Prabhupada, other Acharyas, their books. And if you don't like anything because of my mistake, I am a person who can make faults, commit mistakes. Please forgive me and please bless me so that I may continue in my spiritual life. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Bharat ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai. Any questions? Anything anyone wants to ask? Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Elaborate meaning of the bhav.
Oh, you want me to elaborate? Okay, let me elaborate. I will
Keep the elaboration within a half hour.
I will elaborate very in one line. In one line. Okay. So Vibhava is the cause of Rati. Causes which can increase Rati. Vibhava is the cause which can increase Rati. Right? Rati is Thai Bhav. And the cause for increasing Rati are two. One is Alambana and Udipana. What is Alambana? Support, which is giving support to this Rati. And in this case, what is the support? Krishna himself is the support. And Udipana is the stimuli, like Krishna's flute, that increases the bhava. So Vibhava is the cause of Rati. Anubhava. Anubhava are the emotions which come after, someone is realizing the causes. This stimuli is there, like gopis, they saw the flute, smiling face of Krishna, and then they started tearing up, and they started, romanch is happening on their body. So that's Anubhava. Anubhava, that means which are following the particular bhava. Anubhava. Satvik bhava. Satvik bhava is the bhava which arose because of sattva, presence of sattva. Now, what is the presence of sattva? I mean, this is a long discussion, but to keep it very short, sattvic bhava are the emotions which we get out of intense, love when it happens. And this sattvic bhava is something which we are not planning to do. Like in Anubhava, I'm planning in my mind, like dancing. Dancing and singing, because I have the cause of, I saw the beautiful form of Krishna. So I get this Anubhava that I have to sing for Krishna, I have to dance for Krishna. Intentionally I am doing, my mind is there. But Satvik Bhava is when my mind is cut. Now something is happening, romanch is happening, I'm fainting. These are Satvik Bhava, which I'm not planning, but happening. Satvik Bhavas. Now, Vyabhichari Bhavas. Vyabhichari Bhavas are the transitory emotions. Transitory emotions, and they are coming and they are going, and they are happening just to increase the love. Vyabhichari Bhavas, there are 33 Vyabhichari Bhavas, like Mana, Garva, like, in my relationship with the Bhagwan. And these things happen at the level of Prema Bhakti, right? At the third level. So, I'm so proud because, and I'm doing, I'm getting angry with Krishna. All these things are coming under Vyabhichari Bhava. Like Mritya, death-like symptoms also happen. So these are 33 Vyabhichari Bhavas. So Vibhava, Anubhava, Satvik Bhava, and Vyabhichari Bhava. So Satvik Bhava, when they are happening intentionally, they are called Anubhavas. And when they are happening not intentionally, they are Vyabhichari Bhavas. So if you want to read in detail, then you read Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Sadran Division. Southern division. That will describe your bhava. There are 4 sections. First is eastern, uske baad, eastern, western, southern and northern. Southern, you will find all the bhavas, chapter wise chapter, examples and detail. Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu by Srila Rupa Goswami. This is a very brief discussion. I cannot do justice, as Prabhu said. Disclaimer, don't go half hour. So, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Let me just check online and see if.
There are no hands up, so we are all good here.
Hare Krishna. Anybody online have any questions?
No, I don't see any hands up, so I think we are good.
Okay. Anybody here? Any questions?